Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. I didn't hear a song. Did you play a song?
You didn't hear the song.
Nope. You just like raw dogged me, no lube.
Okay.
It was just like,
well, that is Joe Prano. I'm Andy Ruther, and we don't know where the song. Well, the song played for me, so I don't know.
okay.
Last episode, it didn't really play for me, but it was on the thing. I've been kind of toying with some of this stuff, but maybe I did it incorrectly. Regardless, we're here. You're in Las Vegas. I'm in Cincinnati.
That's right. I'm in Harrah's Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Nevada. One of them. Here we are, Andy. Friday in America.
Harrah's is still holding up, huh?
Harrah's is renovated, I think.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah. I haven't been to Harrah's. So I've been to Harrah's, a few times in the last couple months, coming through to do spots at the Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. And yeah, before that, I don't know the last time I was here, like maybe 20 years ago. Like,
do they still have that outside bar, Carnival Court?
Carnival Court.
So like outside the casino, there was a giant circular bar with a stage.
I don't know.
Carnival Court.
I don't.
Harrah's gives the Harrah's plays. I forget. Like what's the vibe Harrah's plays off of?
That's a great question. I don't really know.
Because like casinos play off of,
yeah.
Obviously Rio is playing off
Brazil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Harrah's kind of Mardi Gras. At least when I was there, it was kind of Mardi Gras New Orleans vibes.
Yeah, that's probably right. Because there is a Harrah's in New Orleans, right? Is that where this casino started, perhaps?
I think there is a Harrah's in New Orleans.
There is, yeah.
I don't know if it started there. But
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what the vibe is. The one thing I'll say about Harrah's, they have a bar that's like kind of between the casino and the that like promenade that is like, I forget what the name of it is, but it's like something Irish. And it's like an Irish bar, but there's casino tables in there, but you can play beer pong in there. Like if I was like a fratty type fucking kid in Vegas, like that would be my spot. It seems like a good spot. I played like 10 hands of blackjack there when I was here 2 times ago with a dirtball from Austin and his buddy. But I forget what that place is called, but I like that vibe. I like casinos. The old school, and you'll remember this well because this is probably very much your era of Vegas. But like, remember when Hard Rock was the shit? And it was like you were in the casino, but you felt like you were hanging out still. You weren't just separate.
They had the hot club called Body English. Yeah, they were a spot. I didn't hang out there as much just because it wasn't on a strip, but Hard Rock was definitely, my brother stayed there. That was definitely a vibe.
I loved the Hard Rock back in the day because you were on the casino floor at a blackjack table, but you still felt like you were like hanging out.
I could be wrong. I think they were like the first casino to do the nightclub pool, the day pool scene.
Oh, interesting.
That was a huge deal about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And they had what was it? Rehab Sundays. They had something on Sundays.
Yeah. Rehab
I
Sunday sounds familiar.
I think it was Rehab Sundays, and that's when things would get wild. Lots of jizz in that pool.
So much jizz. All the jizz.
What about the jizz?
Jizz and piss. Jizz and piss.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Carnival Court still does exist.
Wow.
The old Andy Ruther stomping grounds. It's like that was like shooting fish in a barrel with the tourists there. Because you didn't have to go to a nightclub, but it was still a fun vibe. They do the flair bartenders a la cocktail.
There you go.
That's how it goes down at Harrah's. And then Harrah's, which I don't believe exists anymore, right by Harrah's, rest in peace, Margaritaville and Jimmy Buffett. I believe that closed down.
That's too bad.
Is that Denny's still there?
I don't know. Andy, listen, I'm not like
there used to be a Denny's right by that Harrah's, which was prime, like drunken 4 or 5 a.m.
I feel like that Denny's probably is still here.
I ate there with my parents once.
You know, you've heard, you know, Denny's has been in the news recently for their $18.99, like, you know, and it's not the Grand Slam, but it's like one of them. It used to be $5.99 back in the day. Now it's $18.99. People are like freaking out about it.
Damn. I got some, speaking of news, I got a DM from John Smith about an update on the McDonald's ice cream machine.
Ooh.
It's gotten even crazier. I can't even explain it. Somebody did an 8-minute video. It's lawsuits and
the first video we watched about it was like 45 minutes long.
Yeah. And he's from that YouTube video, somebody put out a new video on TikTok. Basically, lots of collusion and scheming with the company that fixed the machines, Taylor and McDonald's. Emails, dude, it goes pretty deep. I know this sounds ridiculous. It goes deep for a ice cream machine.
It's crazy that we're on our second McDonald's ice cream documentary and these stories. It's like, if you're a McDonald's corporate, why wouldn't you just be like, hey, we had a good run of scheming. Now just make fucking ice cream. Make and sell fucking ice cream.
Oh yeah, the video breaks down, if you went by each franchise, how much money is lost per year. And then you take that with.
But again, we've talked, and I think this is a part of the original documentary. The McDonald's McDonald's corporate doesn't give a fuck how much money you're making.
Well, they get a kickback.
They get a kickback, but they're essentially a real estate company, and then you can. That's why it's always like, available at participating McDonald's. It's like everybody's their own franchisee and whatever. But if McDonald's also getting kickbacks, you know, they have to do the math on the kickbacks they're getting from the fucking repair company versus the kickbacks they're getting from the percentage of the ice cream.
Yeah. So how it works is they would get, I think at this point, minimum probably to open a McDonald's franchise, $1 million cash. At least, I know. So McDonald's gets that, and then they're going to get their kickback on a percentage of sales. But you do have to, you're right, you have to follow protocol to a degree, but you can run your store how you want. But regardless, the thing that he sent me is pretty, it's a good watch. Let's see here. It's 8 minutes. And it was a Twitter tweet, but I think it was taken from TikTok. But yeah, it goes deep, man. It's crazy that we're still doing this. But you brought up Denny's. All these places are so expensive. That's why they had to bring back the $5 value meal. McDonald's did. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
I'm on top of it.
The McDonald's, and what does the McDonald's $5 value meal include?
You either get a chicken sandwich or just like a regular cheeseburger, small fries, 4 nuggets, and a drink.
Regular
Pretty good.
cheeseburger, 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink for $5.
Yeah,
Not
or
bad.
a chicken sandwich. I think in today's economy,
Not bad. I go, if I'll probably, that's so wait, chicken sandwich and chicken nuggets?
yeah, you could choose. I believe you could choose one of those, either the chicken sandwich or the burger with your nugs.
Okay.
Now the nugs are tiny.
Yeah, you get a 4-piece nugs.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I'm gonna cut my chicken with some beef, what I'm probably doing in this situation is I'm either doing the $5 value meal with a chicken sandwich and some chicken nugs, and then I'm adding a McDouble on the side, or I'm adding, or I'm going cheeseburger, nugs, and then am I throwing more burger on the side of that? Am I throwing a chicken sandwich? Yeah, probably the move is like chicken sandwich, nugs, fries, drink, throw a McDouble on the side. That's probably if I wanted to take advantage of this offer. Although I've always I've had the budget McDonald's. I go small fries, sweet tea, McDouble, and now spicy McChicken. That's my.
So here's
my
a
order.
hack I've learned
Okay.
in the last year. I don't know if it depends on where you live, but I bet this is true at most places. Ordering a kid's meal, I'm not talking fast food. I'm talking more of like a restaurant. Most places, kids' meals are literally adult meals. I've learned this through my daughter. It's fascinating.
They don't portion them out any smaller.
No. So for example, there's a bar restaurant by us that we really like, and I'll get for her, they'll say, "Oh, do you want the kids sliders?" The kids sliders is 4 sliders, which are definitely the equivalent of a full burger. Tons of fry, like the normal amount of fries for $5.99. And I always joke, if I wanted a burger and fries, and I've noticed a lot of restaurants do that. You order the kids meal, oh, the kids whatever. Now, granted, you're limited to chicken fingers or burgers or whatever, but it's fascinating because I'm like, okay, $5.99 for this. If I ate this would be a meal for me. But if I ordered the regular burger and fries, it's going to be $13.
You just got to do the Tug Coke or order the kids meal, knowing you're eating half of it, and then you get yourself a little something small on the side for you. Get that Tug Coker going. Just be like, know that every meal you have, you're also getting the second half of a peanut butter and jelly with the crust cut off, and a small bag of carrots.
They should call it that at every restaurant, the Tug Coker.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna tug size it. I'm gonna tug it. Like you got it. We'll add one Uncrustables and a small bag of Cheerios, dry Cheerios. Now let me ask you something since we're talking about food. You had mentioned on the last show the eating Roscoe's dog food video that came up on my TikTok the other day. And I guess I thought it was like, I thought that there was some, I think you kind of brought it up toward the end of the show. I think you brought it up in plugs last show. So I thought there was like something behind it. But this is based on like, why are you eating dog food is my question. A
lot of people want to know this. I've had a lot of people ask
this isn't like, something didn't go wrong with the food and you're like trying to like, this isn't like, you're not doing like a dog food. You didn't taste test like a variety of different companies to try to like, you're not doing a dog food taste test. This wasn't a our chili over spaghetti tastes better than dog food thing. You just ate dog food. You were just like, what does dog food taste like?
I was real curious what his dog food tasted like. So he had to change his diet. He was on a low-fat gastrointestinal diet, which was prescription after the pancreatitis, the second pancreatitis. And then once they learned he had kidney disease, which to be honest, we think maybe that diet contributed to that, he went on a kidney disease diet in May. And you know how it is. I'm sure you went through this with Vince. It's like you're trying to figure out what's he going to, because he was losing weight. It was not good. What's he going to eat?
Right.
So we did find 3 dog foods that we like rotate throughout the week to mix it up, which makes him happy and he eats it. And I was just curious every day. I'm weird, man. I'm like, what does this taste like? We got 3 different foods. And if you watch the video, I was pretty surprised that the one that looked the most disgusting actually tasted the best.
The loaf.
The loaf. It literally just says loaf. It's bizarre. I don't know what that is. It just says loaf. And it actually didn't taste the worst. The hard food was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, nothing spurred it. Everybody thinks I'm weird. My neighbor filmed it. That's what he does for work. And he just came over and we set up some cameras. He mic'd me. And
have you thought about trying cat food next?
oh, I have some ideas, by the way. So there's some things in the works that I'm gonna do with food testing. So the food stuff is real big, and a lot of it is food challenges, which is cool. I'm not against that. I watch some of that stuff, but I'm more of like, what's this taste like? Everyone is asking what you're asking. Why?
Yeah. Why? Because I thought there was gonna be you mentioned it and it was late in the show. So I was like, oh, I won't push. I'll just watch the video. And I thought the answer to why would be in there, but it wasn't.
No.
You're just like, hey, I'm Andy Ruther. I eat dog food.
So yeah, we're learning the YouTube video, which was meant to be long. We have to cut these down. It was tough. The TikTok and Instagram one are both 3.5 minutes, but the YouTube one's like 6.5. But yeah, we're gonna cut them down. But I got some ideas. I think it's because I have a young kid, and I'm suddenly interested in like food because it's fascinating what a kid will and won't eat. And somehow that worked its way into the dog food. I don't know, man. I mean, somebody put it best on Instagram. I saw a comment said this is what a year being a dad does to somebody.
Yeah. I was more like, see, this is like, people always go like quality of life. I'm like, see, this is what happens when you don't like have stuff going on in Venice Beach. You're just like at home watching the Olympics or whatever. You know, you ran through your Jake Gyllenhaal thing. You know, you got through a couple murder docs. You know, next thing you know, like Hard Knocks hasn't started yet. And you're like, should we just eat dog food today? Like, we need to get you out of Ohio.
Oh, no, I'm an outlier. Trust me. Everyone here and everyone in my circle is like, what is wrong with you? Why would you just willingly do that? Everybody thinks I'm weird. Everybody.
But I'm saying they don't know because they've never been outside it. You know what I mean? These are Ohioans, but you lived the life. You tasted the excitement of Venice Beach, and now you're home in Ohio. You're like, there's not enough danger here. There's no homeless fires outside my window. Well, what if I just eat dog food today? And they're like, people are like, you don't have to do this, man. I just need some of that Savage Town vibery around here.
I can find that here if I really want to. You know, you can find the Savage. There's a Savage Town in every town. We know that. You can find the Savage Town vibery. But Hard Knocks is back, Joe. You mentioned it.
Yeah.
Episode 1 came out. I did watch it.
Not only did you watch it, you called me about it. You're already in.
No.
You're like, you know what they don't tell you? You know what? Like, I kind of forgot. They went out, they got him some weapons. You know, Nick Saban was there. You're like, Nick Saban was there, dude.
All I said to you was that.
Did you know Eberflus played linebacker at Toledo? I was like,
okay.
I love your every Hard Knocks viewer.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
not
know,
every,
man.
all I said. Well,
It
first
seems
of all,
like a pretty tough guy, defensive minded. I mean, he wore a neck roll in college when he played at Toledo.
all I said was I did forget. I said all those things. I did forget because you know how these off seasons are, and to me, it's not as important to pay attention until the actual season. I need a life, but I forgot that they got Keenan Allen. I forgot about Moore, who they already had. I forgot. The truth is, I forgot about Eberflus. I forgot they had a defensive coach and that the defense started to come along. It does not mean that I'm willing to bet on them winning the division. I still like your
And that
theory.
like, yeah. I don't know what their over under number is. My thoughts on the Bears and remember that I watch very little college football, but a lot of times with the big players that are coming out, the 5 big players, the 3 big players or whatever, the guys who are going to win the Heisman, the guys that won a Heisman 2 years ago, whatever, like you see a lot of their shit. I like Caleb Williams. I've liked Caleb Williams for a while. I'm not like on a Caleb Williams bus train. The conversation in the beginning of Hard Knocks, like Caleb Williams, I don't even think it's going out on a limb if you were like, I think Caleb Williams will be the best quarterback the Bears ever had. Like, I don't even really like what are like what
Well,
are you
we've
even
talked about it
fucking
at
saying?
length, and they did obviously in Hard Knocks. It's they've never. I believe the stat was. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I believe the Bears have, which is insane. Yeah, they've never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards. Cutler did it in Denver. He never did it with Chicago. They've never had a
Yeah.
guy. That's not even that high of a yard. They've never had a guy throw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah. I mean, I just had this conversation with my buddy the other day because I have a couple. We've talked about this many times. I have a couple Eagles friends, and Eagles fans are the most delusional and mentally ill fans in the whole world. But he's trying to, he's got the off-season hypes, the preseason hypes. He's like, Jalen Hurts might be the best quarterback we ever had. I was like, that's some bar, dude. You think he's already passed Jaworski? Like, what the fuck are we talking about, dude? We like, okay, cool story, bro. Like, Caleb
Yeah,
Williams.
the bar is low.
Caleb Williams, like, I don't know what the measurement is, but let's say we could determine a measurement. Let's say we could determine like a, 7 statistical average, that for 6+ years he would have to, match to be the Bears. Like, it's probably even money that he's going to be the Bears' best quarterback ever. I liked Caleb Williams at USC. So, like, we've seen guys come into the league and play really well. I think he has that potential. But the division's tough. The Packers came on strong last year, won a playoff game. The Lions are in the NFC Championship game. Everybody's on the Vikings to finish last in the division. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, yeah, but like, you guys are doing that because Kirk Cousins left. I'm on the like, are the Vikings?
Didn't they name Sam Darnold their starter?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. My point is, I stay on the Kirk Cousins is overrated train. Like, the idea that the Minnesota Vikings franchise is going to go off the rails because they the most overrated quarterback potentially in the history of the sport left isn't like thing. So it's going to be a tough division, but I think the Bears could be okay. I don't know what their over under number is, but I think more than likely the Bears will be okay in a couple of years.
It's 8.5, by the way.
It's just a lot of games to win in a tough division.
Yeah, I mean they win 8. You win. I mean, look, I think Caleb Williams' hype, from what it seems, is valid because he's been deemed a generational type quarterback, basically in the Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. I don't even know if see, here's the difference. Burrow had one amazing year. Let's not forget Caleb got this.
No, when you do the as far as the hype went, like in the modern era, the people that have been it was
Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning
and Trevor Lawrence. They talked about Trevor Lawrence.
True, Trevor Lawrence.
No one's been on paper what Trevor Lawrence is.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably in our era because it's those four guys. Because Mahomes obviously,
and there was even more. I would say there was more convo around Caleb Williams than there was any of the other three guys in terms of maybe he shouldn't be number one. But
I agree.
I would say it's like those three, and then Caleb's like a bridge to probably, the Burrows and the other guys who, there's a couple other guys who are like, yeah, that guy will be really good.
But the pressure, and Saban talked about that with his dyed black hair. By the way, I see Saban, I just laugh. Like, dude, just let it go, man. You're 70s. The obviously dyed black hair, but the pressure of the NFL quarterback, which is true, and not just any quarterback, the franchise that's never had a star. So he's going to have a lot of pressure on him. And I think Bears fans at this point are probably a little impatient.
But, Bears fans, Chicago fans generally are pretty happy-go-lucky.
They are.
Happy-go-lucky sports city. The lovable losers in the Cubs. You would think every year you start the football season that the 85 season was last year. Like they're hanging on to. They're like, well, we got 85. They're like, motherfucker, cell phones didn't exist in 1985. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like 40 years ago.
40 years ago, man. I know.
Like you talk about in the NFL, like the teams that don't have Super Bowls, the teams that have Super Bowl droughts, the teams whatever, like 85, is closer to the first Super Bowl than it is fucking today.
Yeah, and let's see. They played the Colts. That would have been, I believe, the 2006 season, 2007 Super Bowl, if I'm correct. So it's been almost 20 years since they played in a Super Bowl. So it's been a while.
But we don't talk about them like they're the Jets. We don't talk about them like they're
We don't. Yeah, well, because I think maybe.
Meanwhile, 85 is the year before the Mets won their last World Series. And people talk about the Mets like, LOL Mets.
Well, I think because of the fan bases, like you said, the Chicago fan base in general are not the angry, pissed off.
That's what I'm saying. So you're like,
mob.
you're saying they're impatient, and I'm like, I don't know that they are.
Yeah, maybe they're not.
They're like, my hot dog has poppy seeds. You're like, okay.
Yeah, this is the fan base that really was really after even a few years adamant that Justin Fields was going to be the next thing last year.
Yeah.
So they're probably more optimistic or cautiously optimistic. I would definitely take the under.
This is the fan base that loved the Jason Hayward sign.
Yeah. Now, like this post, this makes sense here on YouTube. The Cubs and Blackhawks winning titles made up for the Bears. The Cubs have won relatively recently. The Blackhawks have won, I think, a few relatively recently. I mean, that will appease a city to a degree, right? If you're having multiple championships in the last 15 years,
sure,
from different sports.
But like you can go back to the second before the Cubs and the Blackhawks won. The vibe's not a whole lot different. Like
I'm trying to think.
The Chicago has never been for a team that over the course of like 100 and whatever years has like how many titles besides the 6 Bulls titles? You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, I
they're
think
not
so.
like
I have
this. They're not treated like they're Cleveland.
So I have a lot of friends from Chicago from college. And they were obviously all diehard Bears fans. None of them really were that aggressively angry ever. It was let's get real drunk. Let's get drunk on Miller Lite, big Chicago thing, and let's watch.
It's a happy-go-lucky fat guy eating sausage town.
Yeah, that's true. And they're all going to put money that they win more than 8.5 games. What was up with that guy getting in a thong in the Hard Knocks?
So I only made it through I was maybe like 2/3 of the way through the other night. I didn't make it all the way through the episode.
Oh, okay.
Who wore a thong? Was it a rookie thing?
Yeah, he was a Canadian, so he was trying to be funny. He was singing, I think, "God Bless America" or some America song, and he had a screaming eagle on his crotch because he was Canadian. He thought it was funny. And then literally the next game, he just gets jacked up. He's gonna be out for a while. like the first preseason game. We'll see. I mean, look, it's with rookies, you never know. Like, I never anticipated CJ Stroud, especially coming from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because there is that element too with Caleb Williams. You come from a major program, you've been playing with the best players between Oklahoma and USC.
The one, we talked about how difficult the division is in terms of good teams. The one thing that I think I don't know, the silver lining to how strong the division might be top to bottom is not a ton of defense. Like he's not, the Lions aren't a great defensive team. The Packers aren't a great defensive team. The Vikings aren't a great defensive team. It's like, even if they don't win a lot of games, even if they win 6 games or 7 games or 8 games or whatever, it could be a season where Caleb Williams plays well statistically and gain some confidence that way. Like, listen, again, I'm a Caleb Williams believer, especially as a Bear. But I just don't feel like from the last few years, it just doesn't. I mean, I know Justin Fields. Here's the thing. I don't think Justin Fields is a quality NFL quarterback, and they did win. What they win 7 games last year, so that does make me think, but then I think Caleb Williams is a lot better than Justin Fields, but I also think that the division's pretty strong.
Well, he got hurt last year, didn't he? They went 7-10 last year.
Yeah.
Well, football's back when everybody's sending me DMs and I'm seeing Jameis Winston all over the place.
I forgot he was in Cleveland.
I did too. I forgot.
I hung out with our buddy Brian the other day, and I was like, I knew Flacco was gone, and I was like, where did Flacco go? And he's like, Baltimore or Indianapolis. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was like, who's your backup? He's like, Jameis. I was like, oh fuck, I totally forgot that.
Yeah, I did too. He's such an idiot. I mean, listen to this shit.
One of the things that a lot of people forget, when you can go out, you can see practice, you can knick-knack, this, that, patty-whack, give a dog a bone. Deshaun Watson is gonna turn it on. He always gonna find a way to shine when the lights come on. Man, I just rhymed. Oh my, can I leave off
No,
that one?
he's
I know
so
that's one
funny.
gonna
He's
hit.
so funny. He's. I mean, seriously,
I like
he's
that he-
retarded. He's fucking like I'm gonna use it with a hard. He is fucking retarded. He's slow.
I
He's
like-
mentally slow.
I like that he was like, I just rhymed. Well, you didn't like, it's not like you created a rhyme. You used like a famous rhyme. Like you didn't write that in the moment. He was like, oh, McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm, he had some cows with a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there. He's like, where do I come up with this stuff?
He's so
Sometimes I
stupid.
shock myself with the things that I am able to create in this mind of mine. The answer, my friend, is blown in the wind.
But you
What,
know what
does that even mean? I'm a brilliant person.
what's fascinating for me, and I
See,
always
what she
bring
is doing there is she is buying a stairway to heaven. I mean, this is amazing. Well, sometimes I don't know what's going on in my own brain.
But what's crazy to me is again the love. If you look under the comments of this post, when he retires, he needs to be on TV. Best listening football. Get this guy on TV. Get this guy a podcast. He's going to be the next Charles Barkley. No, he's not. Charles Barkley's smart. Had a Hall of Fame career. He's a well-read. I don't understand. He's
well read.
well. I mean, I think I would call him a guy who travels. He's a guy who, my point is, Jameis Winston is just a country bumpkin. It's what you are. To steal what Cat Williams called Steve Harvey, he's a country bumpkin. He's an idiot. I don't know. Like maybe it's just my history, your history we have with Jameis 1 and maybe that's why I have blinders. I don't see that and laugh. I just think you're a fucking idiot. I don't know. I don't know what's so funny about that. And obviously his history of rape, sexual assault, all that obviously plays into it as well.
Yeah, I give that dog a bone. See what I did there? I took off her knickknacks and then I patty whacked her. And then I gave that dog a bone. Sir, is that where, sir, this is where Tallahassee PD? Is that your official statement? That's right.
The school paid that girl $950,000.
That's amazing.
Almost $1 million. But they also claim, and he also claims it's bullshit. So the school, I don't know too many schools willing to pay damn near $1 million if there's not something there. Settle out of court. Just saying. Just like how he settled with the Uber thing out of court. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get the love. That he's so funny. He's so friendly. And if you're a Browns fan, like Brian, I'd be terrified because Deshaun Watson hasn't exactly stayed on the field.
No.
So that's the guy you're going to put in against the Steelers or the Ravens defense. I'm sure that'll play out well in the AFC North. Jameis Winston's going to be going against Burrow in a shootout. like, not that would probably happen, but you know my point of, yeah, how many picks is he going to throw? I just rhymed. Look at me.
Look at me. Where do I even come up with some of these things?
My favorite thing about Jameis always was people the fanboys from FSU would say, he had a 4.0. He had a
Yeah.
4.0. A 4.0 at Florida
Richard
State.
Sherman was going to be a chemist.
That's hilarious.
They had to convince him to play football. This is him in a lab coat.
I really do think it's football fans that only go to those extremes. I got to put Jim Harbaugh on blast here too.
Oh boy, here we go.
And that's a guy I like. I think we both like as a coach. He's just lying, man. Well, the NCAA, we know how they are, but also they're pieces of shit. But Harbaugh is saying he knew nothing about that guy who was stealing signs. Remember how many videos we showed, Prano?
Yeah.
So the NCAA,
and you know what's funny is like it's such a fucking incredible lie because you go, well, what? So he's just stealing them for himself. So this guy travels with you and is being seen on the sideline of your games, and he's very clearly stealing signs. And then he just like writes them in his diary. He's like, figured out more signs. Time for bed. Well, but are you going to do anything with the signs? No, that's not the point. No, I'm not.
So our friends at the NCAA gave Harbaugh, I don't even know what this means, a 4-year show cause order, including a 1-year suspension from what they said was infractions in connection with violating protocol during COVID-19 during the dead period in 2021 for violating recruiting and inducement rules, engaged in an unethical conduct, failed to promote an atmosphere. Dude, so the NCAA, we all know how we feel about them. It's next level joke, but he's still denying it. And he literally addressed as the Chargers coach. This is pretty funny. He just says he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I do have a comment on that. Never lie, never cheat, never steal. I was raised with that lesson. I have raised my family on that lesson. I have preached that lesson to the teams that I've coached. No one's perfect. If you stumble, you apologize, and you make it right. Today, I do not apologize. I did not participate, was not aware, nor complicit in those said allegations. So for me, it's back to work and attacking with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
I mean, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah. The only way that that's even partially true is he heard inklings about it and was like, keep me the fuck. I don't want to know.
Yeah. There's no way.
There, like the idea that I didn't participate. I didn't get a breakdown of the things. I didn't whatever. Okay. Like you're, telling the truth by like, picking the right words or whatever. But like, there's no idea. There's no chance, 0% chance he didn't know this guy who traveled with the team. Who is that? I'm the reason I've been so successful in every place I went is my attention to detail. I know every blade of grass on this field. I know every guy's number. I know every guy's name. I know the 400 different formations we use. I know what we eat for breakfast in the cafeteria. I know what we eat for lunch. Who's that guy? Why is there a random guy on our sideline? Who is he?
There's no way. Now I know this is quote unquote payback for the NCAA, right? Because he didn't cooperate with anything. I think that's part of it. But it's I see this shit and I'm just like, I know people probably don't want to hear this anymore, but it's like, I just can never get into college sports again. Doesn't mean I won't occasionally watch it. I
mean,
just
not
wouldn't.
that this doesn't happen in, and like that. This is just the Patriot scandal.
Yeah, but I think the difference is these penalties and violations, and especially I'm like knee deep in hot dog money now, and you just see it and you just go, what you guys this whole thing is this. I know there's a lot of bullshit with the other sports leagues. Don't I know that. But it's almost transparent. Like most everybody knows the NFL doesn't give a shit about the player safety. Even though they say they do. My point is all the stuff that happens with NCAA, it's just such a mess that you just say, I don't care. Let me put it this way. At the end of the day, I think the NFL is a more fair product.
Well, that's always been my issue with college sports in general. It's like there's no the NFL is built entirely on parity.
Yeah.
And college football has none.
For sure.
And the way parity got out of control was by the NCAA turning a blind eye to it just being professional sports masquerading as college athletics.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's just like,
And the other thing about college is just like, who are like 80,000 people or 60,000 people or whatever will just go to like the Iowa State football game in 2 weeks, and you're like, what do you guys do? Like, what? You're not gonna win fucking shit. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, where there's actually hope in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which to a large degree is baseball's problem as well, with no salary cap. It's just so it's such a like I don't know how you unwind the mess that is happening. And then also Harbaugh, if you didn't do it, you left. You kind of followed
it's always the fucking
Chip
like,
Kelly, Urban Meyer, all these guys
Pete
leave.
Carroll, all of them.
Pete
Every
Carroll.
single one of them.
They all went to the NFL, and then suddenly their school was hit. All those guys.
If Joe Paterno hadn't been 90, he'd have been coaching the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to be our best coach ever. Oh, he's going to jump Buddy Ryan? What the fuck are we talking about here?
I still have a Joe Pa in New Jersey.
Love that.
I still have it. You know, also have, which I'm excited to eat for lunch, is Butcher Box. Yeah, I grilled out some. What did I grill out? Some chicken thighs, chicken thighs with skin. I like the skin of the chicken thighs. I grilled those out yesterday, and had one last night for dinner. Had a nice side of mashed potatoes and some veggies. I do. I meal prep, Joe. I cook a lot at once, so I got a bunch left over, and I'm gonna heat up some of those. I love it because I put the order in, it comes right to the door. It only takes a couple days. Butcher Box has always been there for me, and you get a variety of high quality cuts at an amazing value. with exclusive deals, including this one. You can choose from ground chicken, ground sirloin, or ground pork for free in every order for a year. Plus, get $20 off your first order with code DIRTY or visit butcherbox.com/dirty. That's up to $236 in savings for the year. Again, that's code DIRTY or visit butcherbox.com/dirty to redeem your offer now.
We got some ground turkey in a recent order. I was like, oh, give me that ground turkey. And I mean, what's the first thing you think of if I say ground turkey? Well, first recipe.
Turkey burgers?
I was like, oh, my girl's gonna make some turkey burgers, right?
Yeah.
She loves the Butcher Box, by the way. She really gets into it. Every time she'll be like, oh, all right, what are we doing? And she's great at like finding a recipe online and like making something great. So I was like, all right, I was like, I'm gonna get some ground turkey. We're gonna do turkey burgers. I walk in the other day. I was like, smells good in here. What are you making? She's like, turkey meatloaf. I was like, turkey meatloaf. Turkey meatloaf. Interesting. And then
I bet it was good.
It was pretty good. So she made it and she was going to yoga. So on the way out the door, like she made it, it came out of the oven. It's sitting on top of the oven. This is one of the craziest. This exchange, a lot of twists and turns, but she goes, don't eat the entire turkey meatloaf while I'm out. And I was like, what did you just suggest to me? That in the hour and a half that you're gone in yoga, I'm going to sit here and eat a tray of meatloaf by myself? What am I, fucking Labrador?
That's pretty savage.
And then I started eating the fucking meatloaf, and I was like, I'm just gonna have like one. I'm just having a nice one slice. And then the next thing I know, I was like, I think I just ate half the meatloaf. So then like 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, you know what? If somebody did just make me this and then leave for the day and didn't give me any extra, I might eat the whole thing. I mean, I wouldn't because I knew she was coming back and was going to have dinner. But I was like, I probably could eat this whole tray of meatloaf. But at first, I was like, that's a ludicrous thing to even suggest to somebody.
It's a pretty good healthy alternative. I like meatloaf. As we all know, I just like loaf. I'll eat dog food.
Yeah, you're a big loaf guy.
I'll eat just
loaf. Dang.
Team Loaf. I'm gonna walk around with a shirt that just says Team Loaf.
Isn't loaf also a euphemism for dick?
Yeah, that was actually in. We cut that out.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about that. That didn't make the final cut of that video, but yeah, it is a euphemism for your dick. Like that guy whose dick got caught in the Olympics. What is it? High jump?
Pole vault.
Pole vault. High jump. Is that even a thing? Did I just make that up?
No, high jump's a thing.
That guy needs a shirt that says Team Loaf. We didn't even talk about that.
So my thoughts on this are twofold. One, I mean, obviously, like we all saw the video, and he's got like a singlet on, and his gigantic dick does hit the bar, which, like, good for him, by the way. Like, if you're gonna lose, if you're not gonna win an Olympic medal, you still go home. Like, honestly, if you're not gonna win the gold, this is probably better than winning anything but the gold. Like winning a silver or a bronze in the Olympics is like a life-changing thing. Like that's, man, it goes on your resume. You could you can go wear it to the bar. But if it was like, if I had to choose between bronze, silver, gold, or everybody knowing you have a gigantic hog, I might only pick gold. That being said,
somebody posed that question, I believe, to me.
Gold or giant hog?
Yeah. Would you have a silver or bronze or to be known for your giant hog?
Yeah, I think I would go. It's for sure above bronze. It might be gold, silver, hog, bronze. But the other thing I want to add to this is his leg hit it first. Like I just hate the idea that like he lost because of his dick. He didn't lose because of his dick. But if you don't watch it closely, you're like, oh, he did. But I'm like, his shins hit. And then his dick hits. Now, were the shins going to take it off the bar? I don't know. Either way, the best, I mean, if you're going to lose, that's the best way to lose.
100%. I'm going to play a call. We'll talk Olympics. Play a call. 310-359-8365.
I did see a great tweet about the Olympic thing the other day. Like his incident has ruined any chance, has ruined you being able to win a pole vaulting medal like later in like for the future. You just like come home from like the LA Olympics and you're like, oh, I won the gold in pole vaulting. It's like, nice job, little dick. Like,
I never thought of that. Yeah.
Well, at least you got a gold medal to go with your tiny ass cock.
That's funny.
What's going on? Hunter from Michigan. Just calling to check your guys' temperature as we wrap up the Olympics.
I hear nothing.
For me, I'm definitely feeling kind of lukewarm for
damn it.
Hold on. Olympics.
Hold on, let me change this. Let me see if he's talking about our temperature in the Olympics. Let's see if you can hear this.
I think specifically because there's not too many storylines. There's a lot of good.
Nope.
Dude, what is going on here?
I mean, I don't know. Can people in the chat hear it?
Hold on. Let's try this again.
I feel like with.
You can hear that?
I can hear that coming, but it's very clearly coming through your speakers.
Okay, let me play this real quick. All right, try it now.
The gymnastics and then the French guy that beat Mike.
You can't hear that.
I can't hear that at all.
Dude, why is this? I don't know. Everything changed. This is bizarre. You can't hear this. You can't hear this at all.
No, I can't hear nothing.
Record. That was a nice little story, but like I feel sort of
nothing.
Nothing. If you want, I would just play it through the speakers. I'll listen. Well, that's not great for the audience, though. Is the chat hearing your calls?
Somebody just wrote yes. I don't know what yes means.
No. I'm assuming yes, they can hear it. I can't. I don't know what. Is that a my settings thing? That seems like it would be impossible.
It's connected. I mean, and the call's not that like we can. He basically just wanted to get our temperature. Okay, they can hear.
Okay. Weird.
That is weird. Okay, so they can hear.
All right, play the call, and then you can tell me what the call said, and then we can talk about it.
He passed the torch from, people like Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps, and, now that Simone Biles is probably done, we're sort of waiting for, like, those next people to kind of take up the mantle. Like, I was looking forward to Katie Ledecky, but it didn't seem like she really swam in too many meets. So, I don't know, just kind of lukewarm on this Olympic. There wasn't enough interesting storylines for me. Speaking of storylines, though, Andy, I can't believe you haven't mentioned this, I believe it was Turkish shooter that...
Okay, well, I'll break down.
First of all, I really hope that the audience, when this podcast goes out, can hear it, and we didn't just do a minute and 15 seconds of full-on dead air. Do this. Just answer his question, then I'm gonna guess what you're even talking about.
Well, I didn't
don't even break it down for me.
Okay, I didn't even play the full call. I stopped it. So he's basically saying he's lukewarm on the Olympics because there wasn't as good storylines as previous Olympics, or there wasn't a passing the torch from like Simone Biles, the next gymnast, or the past storylines of Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt, some of those. Like, what were the big storylines? Which I think is fair.
Pole vaulter with his cock. I mean, the Noah Lyles, 100, 200. USA basketballs. I mean, that was certainly, there's some drama going on. I mean, Kevin Durant is fucking on a tweet spree.
I mean, we literally did 30 minutes last episode on a boxer, whether it was a girl or dude.
Yeah.
That was more social media.
Yeah.
We're
literally, yeah. I mean that topic alone is, I guess that supports his point. It's like there's so few stories in this Olympics that you have to make up stories out of thin air.
I mean, Simone Biles should be a good one. It's probably our final Olympics.
I mean, that 1500 race, in the men's track and field is pretty fucking. I mean, I don't know. I guess there's some part like the Olympics, especially on NBC, has always been like a very well produced event, and they do these backstories and the whatever. But like, I guess there's some part of the Olympics for me that was just always a little bit of color. Like, the competition is the story, right? Like,
yeah, I agree. I mean, you would think, right?
Has this been some sort of like, listen, saying we don't have Michael Phelps? It's like, oh, okay, well, I know we went through but like, he wasn't in the last Olympics either. Like, I know we went through a run there where we had like a Michael Phelps in every Summer Olympics, but like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
I guess I understand the point of like, what was the huge story, or like who was the star of this Olympics? But yeah, has it been the most like standout Olympics? But like, I think about the standout Olympics in my lifetime, it was the Phelps record-breaking Olympics. It's like, okay, is that the bar?
Well, and also, I mean, the basketball game, I mean, the U.S. was down, 15 points? And that storyline is only that plot's gonna only thicken with Joel Embiid playing France. So they're already talking about he's gonna get booed. They all thought he was gonna play for possibly Team France, which the whole thing is, it's all kind of interesting because Joel Embiid said, I spent half my life in Cameroon and half my life in the United States. I never lived in France. Now, he did become a French citizen. You know how those things kind of work a few years ago.
Yeah.
But his argument was like, I'm a U.S. citizen now. He said I would have played for Cameroon had they actually made it to the Olympics. But I'm a U.S. citizen and my kids were born here. Like, I'm playing for the USA. He's like, he claims he never once said he was going to play for France. So they're going to boo the shit out of him.
And also, they don't have nearly as much high fructose corn syrup in France. So he was like, he wasn't able to get like post-game Shirley Temples.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you want the Negroni? He's like, I want a Shirley Temple, bitch.
Yeah, 100%. I never thought about
Shirley?
that.
Shirley? Who is Shirley?
That which will make that a fun game. It should.
Also, and I'm so sick. We're not going to do a whole thing where we go into the fucking old head thing, but it's just like, Victor Wembanyama is a fucking, like, again, if Victor Wembanyama walked into the 92 Olympics opening ceremonies, he would have been shot with a dart and studied. They'd have been like, what what is that? Like the U.S. had to play a 3-time MVP last game. 3-time MVP.
I know. Don't even get me started. Everybody's just hung up, man. It's just nostalgia. And again, we do the same shit every fucking year. It's only basketball. I don't know why. It's only basketball. The 85 Bears was a great defense. Nobody like nobody talks about them in the same regard that they would like the 88 Pistons or some shit.
Yeah.
But that should be a really good storyline as well. Olympics doesn't help their they don't help their cause.
This whole KD thing.
Well, I saw his tweet. I saw one this morning.
Oh, he's like, yeah, he's like, and first of all, he's like tweeting at like 5 a.m. France time.
Was it more than one?
Oh yeah. He's like quote tweeting and shit.
I saw him quote tweeting,
calling out Nuggets fans. I'd love, you know what we need, Andy? Here's what we need on this show. And I think we talked about this recently. We need a sports psychologist. I feel like we need an episode where we talk about like 10 topics with a sports psychologist that is willing to just be like, that's like, I want to know psychologically what's wrong with Kevin Durant.
Again, I know there is one who I believe was trying to push a book or something. I'm looking at Kevin Durant right now.
Like you're a multi-millionaire. You already have a gold medal. You're probably going to get a gold medal again. You're an NBA MVP. You're 2-time Finals MVP. What is wrong with you?
You're telling me you wouldn't be tweeting at people?
Andy, are you kidding me?
You love to tweet at people. That's why I'm asking.
If I was Kevin Durant, like he's not. Here's something about Joe Brano. Like the quote tweeting. Okay, first of all, I always reply to people in my. These people are not in Kevin Durant's mentions. These people aren't fucking like. This isn't a Clay Travis who's like talking. This is a random dude. He just picked he's just like
yeah, but hold on. You don't only reply to people in your mentions. You're gonna quote tweet things.
But I'm gonna quote tweet like public figures.
I know, but all I'm saying is, does money? It's just a question for anybody. Does money and fame and accomplishments mean that people, and that's what I was asking you, would make you not want to tweet at people?
But then there's like the whole other thing. Like, so if you're Kevin Durant, and again, not to like put a ton about, but like, I'm not even quote tweeting or tweeting people about shit as unimportant. Like, people aren't saying like Kevin Durant fucking sucks. He's not like quote tweeting that. He's not quote tweeting about like social justice. He's not quote tweeting about like race. He's like tweeting. He tweeted somebody who just said like basically Nikola Jokic is like pretty fucking good. He's just like, who you root for? Like, what do you even search? Like, what is this?
So I'm looking at it now. Like the stuff he said. So he's getting mad at some people talking about, I've seen this from a lot of people, about the flexing of Team USA or the flexing of the fans. It's weird. I don't get it either.
I honestly, I don't even know what he's tweeting. I don't know what he's tweeting about. Like, I don't know what his point is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he cares.
I don't know what he cares about. I don't even know what he cares about. Again, like, Kyrie Irving is insane. But Kyrie Irving's tweeting like anti-Semitic shit and whatever. But he's like, he thinks he's like doing something. He thinks he's like making a difference. Now he's fucking insane and wrong and, you know, kind of despicable. But he like thinks he's doing something. Like, what does Kevin Durant think he's doing? Kevin Durant's like standing up for who here? Like, what is
his team?
Kevin Durant, what is your point? But like, was his team being criticized?
I think people are criticizing Team USA having 5 MVPs on the floor, sometimes at a time, and that they're coming from behind or they're barely winning. I don't know. I'm not saying I agree with that.
Sports is wild. Like,
I know.
how many times have we seen like Kentucky teams with like 11 NBA draftees lose to a fucking whatever, like lose? My thing about the dopey fucking shitbag troll sports accounts is the basketball team hasn't lost yet. What the fuck are we talking about? Now it's close games are a lot. Like, what? Dude, the sports just keeps getting better. Serbia has a 3-time NBA MVP. Like,
and obviously not just him, they have, you know, some really skilled players, and they've also been playing together, and that does matter. That matters. They've been playing together.
The US didn't lose. Like, why are we acting like they lost? They didn't lose.
And the truth is, it's the same. My dad was a Jordan fan. It's the same thing. A bunch of you youngins, you and I watched it in 92. We watched it in 96. We know about those early USA men's Olympic basketball teams. All these idiots don't. They weren't even alive. It was 30 years ago, man.
Every Dream Team doc is they lost to the college kids, right? Isn't that there's two separate Dream Team docs, and I think there's a 30 for 30. They lost to the college. They won every game by 30 points. They lost to the college kids, right? Oh, it was a scrimmage. Oh, okay, got it. So, ultimate competitor Michael Jordan, who won't lose dice in the locker room against the security guard. So he was mailing it in against the college kids in a scrimmage of basketball. Michael Jordan, who spent millions of dollars to design his own golf course to his specific talents with a golf club, he mailed it in. Where's the killer instinct? Where's the ultimate competitor? He just laid down. Michael Jordan, who made every shot in his basketball camp, denying the kids all a pair of Jordans because he refuses to miss. He just lost to Bobby Hurley on purpose.
Yeah, and what I don't understand is people. Don't you want closer games? Isn't it more exciting?
I like fucking good basketball. Like, dude, first of all, I'm not even barely a goddamn Patriot by any means. Like, anyway, the only reason I'm rooting for Team USA is because of fucking cuck losers who essentially racists. And let's just be honest here. Why is everything rah America except when it's the team full of black basketball players? Like why are we rooting against? Why are you have American flags in your bio, but hate the men's Olympic basketball team?
Well, I don't know the guys I've seen, and I'm looking at like the guys in Kevin Durant's bench. I don't think those guys are anti-American. They're or racist. I think they're
No,
more.
forget that. Forget that.
Do you know what
Why?
I'm talking about? They're more of the '92 team, like slurpers.
So they're rooting against the men's team because they want the. I hate to do it again, Andy. Why do the fucking why are the Clay Travises of the world rooting against Team USA?
Is he rooting against? I haven't looked. Is he rooting against?
Oh, they're lucky to have won. I fucking tweeted yesterday because this pathetic. This is the NBA, the woke NBA. Blah, blah, blah. So you're a rah-rah. I believe in America, free speech, boobs and free speech. I'm America. I'm a patriot. You hate the men's Olympic basketball team.
I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
I'm saying I haven't looked at this stuff. Anything I've seen is people slurping the 92 team. And I don't know why, like I said, people care about the games being close, which to me is a better thing. The games I've watched where the Team USA blows out, it's not fun.
No, what's fun about it? Like then it's just lopsided basketball. The game yesterday was fun because there was good basketball being played.
Now, was it fun in '92? Yeah. As a kid, I enjoyed watching my favorite players who had posters on their wall just beating the shit out of guys. I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I have a different mentality 32 years later. Again, I think to me, it's a lot of the just stuck in the 80s and 90s basketball for some reason. And Michael Jordan is the figurehead, as we know, of all that. And the truth is, this will be a tough game. I don't know France. I know they got Wembanyama. They got some multiple NBA guys. They have home court advantage. They say everything I've read. I haven't watched Team France at all, but everything I've read, they say those games have been turned with the hometown fan base. So it's not like that's a gimme win. In fact, let's see.
No, it's not a gimme win. Unlike when the U.S. played Angola in '92 and the other team didn't have fucking shoes.
I mean, look, early odds, Team USA 16.5-point favorites. But I really do think a lot of this. Okay, so now it already dropped. Anywhere from 13.5 to 14.5. I mean, you could toss that out the window.
There's group play. There's the elimination. The U.S. has not lost a basketball game. What are we doing here?
Well, they're not enjoying it, is what they should, because a lot of these guys are never going to play again. You should be enjoying it.
Who's not enjoying it? The
people,
fans?
A lot of people aren't, and I'm saying they should be. They should be enjoying it.
What a fun fucking thing. Like, what a fun game the other day. Like, to be down, to come back, Steph Curry, like generational talents, LeBron getting fucking buckets, Steph Curry making all the threes, Kevin Durant hitting a huge shot. Like, this is the Michael, Larry, and Magic of our generation having to make huge plays on an international stage. What a fun fucking thing. Yeah, well, my dad, who hung fucking telephone wires and never once played a second of organized basketball, prefers Michael Jordan. You're a fucking loser.
Yeah, the I keep seeing the thing about.
By the way, if this USA men's basketball team was Angola and played the 92 Dream Team without shoes, I'll still take this team. I'll take this team. Andy, let's make a fucking social media clip right here. Here we go. I think if the current USA men's basketball team played the 92 Dream Team without shoes on, they would win.
Well, I'm just thinking everybody keeps talking about the MVPs. It's funny. I've seen it. So many people say, "Oh, they got all these MVPs." Okay, so that 92 team, just off the top of my head, at that point, Magic Johnson had multiple MVPs, Larry Bird had multiple MVPs, Michael Jordan had multiple MVPs. I don't think Barkley had won his yet.
No.
But he's about to win his.
Yeah.
Karl Malone wins one later. So there's 5 guys right there.
David Robinson win one. Was he on that team? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was on that team.
Yeah. He wins
He
one.
won one.
Yep.
It's all so stupid, man. It's all so dumb. I want to bring up Jose Canseco.
Larry. And first of all, Larry is old as fuck. Barely played.
Yeah.
I would love to watch a shoeless Kevin Durant torch Larry Bird, torch bad back Larry Bird.
I got to bring up Jose Canseco's tweet.
Remember when didn't Larry Bird call Michael Jordan God in sneakers or something like that?
I don't know that quote.
Yeah. He'd call Kevin Durant God not in sneakers when Kevin Durant put 65 on his head, shoeless, like something out of the air up there.
Can I bring up this Jose Canseco tweet, which made rounds? Everybody was laughing or getting angry. He tweeted Derek Jeter is the most overrated shortstop in MLB history, and then just people lose their shit.
It's not even a question. That doesn't mean Derek Jeter is the worst shortstop in baseball history. It doesn't mean Derek Jeter's not a top 5 or whatever, 6, 7. I don't know. I've never broke it down. But honestly, he didn't go far enough. Derek Jeter is the most overrated baseball player in history.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough not to agree. I know a lot of people are going to argue that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to, defense is part of the game. If you're a terrible defenseman, what I always find interesting, so like Jose Canseco.
Also, we should just put your phrase terrible in perspective. The single worst to ever play the game, statistically.
Is he?
Yeah. Because guys who basically no shortstop has ever been allowed to play as long as Derek Jeter at the position of shortstop while being that bad. He has the least defensive run saved in the history of the game.
I didn't know that.
Because his number is negative, every game he went out there, he contributed negatively to his historical defensive rating. So historically, if you're as bad as Derek Jeter is at shortstop, they go, I guess you got to play outfield. I guess we're moving you to second base. Do you know how to catch? Can you pitch?
Yeah, they move him. You're right.
Nobody has ever been as bad at shortstop and allowed to play. Other guys who are as bad, or they go, you're so bad at shortstop, you just can't be in the major leagues.
I mean, it was A-Rod the third
It's ludicrous.
when A-Rod joined the Yanks.
Yeah.
Talk about ego, man. Needing a sports psychologist there. Let the ego go. Now, everybody, when someone like Jose Canseco posts this, everybody comes at the Royals.
Steroids.
Which, yeah, he did.
I have
But
said this before.
I don't know what that has to. I don't know what that has to do with the tweet.
I will say this before, and I will say this. I have said this before, and I will say it again. If there is one person who should hope that no one ever talks about steroids, it's Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter is the single most overrated player that has ever played Major League Baseball, and he is that overrated because of the championships his teams won. That is how Derek Jeter got overrated. The championships his team won. The championships they won with A-Rod on steroids, Andy Pettitte on steroids, Roger Clemens on steroids, Danny Tartabull on steroids, Chuck Knobloch on steroids, on and on and on. Endless amounts of people. Like, the list of Yankees who have been on steroids is larger than the list. Derek Jeter's rosters had 40% of guys on steroids. He only won championships because he was on teams with guys on steroids.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the only reason people consider him to be great is because he was, you're little Mr. Slap single to right, and then steroids, and then the ace of your staff, steroids, and the second guy in your staff, steroids. If it weren't for steroids, Derek Jeter would just have no championships, and we'd just be like, oh, remember fucking shitty defensive guy who they eventually moved to center field before he fucking retired?
Yeah, I agree, man. It's the whole thing. Jeter's great. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, great player.
He can also be overrated.
Most overrated player of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, great players. Probably the two most overrated basketball players in the history of the NBA.
There's nothing wrong with that. All right, give us a ring, 310-359-8365. That's a hotline. Hopefully Joe can hear the calls next episode. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. My camera just got dark again.
Well, you can follow me on all social media at Joe Prano, except for Twitter, where I'm at Fix Your Life. Go to joeprano.com if you want to come see some stand-up shows. Also, I've talked about it a few times over the last couple of weeks. If you are a dirtball and you were trying to come out to Yonkers Comedy Club in New York and you didn't get to go because the shows were canceled, can you please DM me? I'd like to hear from each and every one of you guys that wanted to come to the shows in Yonkers. Got some questions for you, and I would appreciate it. So if you bought tickets to the show, DM me on any of the social media platforms. Thank you.
And if you guys wanted me to eat a different kind of food that's random, DM me as well.
I want you to eat Meow Mix.
Cat food, that's a whole thing.
And what's the other one? What's the Fancy Feast? Can we get a little Fancy Feast going?
Is that a cat food?
Remember the old Fancy Feast? Like that, it was like in the 80s and the 90s, and like it'd be like a candlelight dinner and like a crystal chalice. And then somebody would come and like eat it with a fork. And I'm like, why are you guys making this look like it's like fucking caviar? That shit is cat food.
I think cat food would be way worse than dog food.
I wish I could remember exactly what my girlfriend said when she was watching. I don't think she called you retarded, but I think she was like, is he like, I don't think she said, are you special needs? But she was like, is there something wrong with him? And I was like, well, he's eating dog food. It's clearly something wrong with him.
I'm just tasting it out.
And she goes, And she goes, why? I go, I actually don't know. And I just commented that on his TikTok the other day. I was like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I was like, I don't even have an answer for you.
I don't have an answer.
I think he's just trying dog foods.
Why? Again, my response, why not? Everybody says, why? Why not?
Never eat human shit.
That's I mean, that could get me sick.
Right.
I probably wouldn't do that. But who knows, for enough money. I'd take a nibble.
I mean, I think we should all, everybody tweeted Andy what kind of things you'd like to see him eat.
I do have another idea. I'm not going to reveal it yet. That I've thought about doing.
This guy's teasing us.
We'll see. It'd be a week of it. It would suck. It would really suck.
A week of it.
And I guess it wouldn't be as bad, but my system wouldn't like me after 5 to 7 days of it. We'll see. All right, guys, that's our show. We'll be back next week. You guys have a great weekend. And as always, stay dirty.